Here's your podcast segment. What if you could walk into a clinic one morning with brown eyes and walk out that afternoon with green ones?
That's the premise behind a story from the New York Times titled "This Doctor Can Change the Color of Your Eyes."
Should he? And it's as fascinating as it sounds.
At a quiet clinic in Paris's 6th arrondissement, a French ophthalmologist named Dr. Francis Ferrari has invented a procedure that does exactly that. It's called femtosecond laser-assisted annular keratopigmentation, or FLAK, and Ferrari developed it just over a decade ago. The way it works, a laser creates a circular incision in the cornea, and a surgeon injects a mineral-based pigment directly into that pocket.
The color doesn't change your iris.
It sits in front of it, like a permanent tinted contact lens fused into the eye itself. Patients choose from shades like pistachio, olive green, Riviera blue, honey gold, and ocean.
Recovery takes a single day.
More than 2,500 people have made their way to Ferrari's clinic, many of them booking consultations directly through Instagram. One recent patient, a 35-year-old woman from Grenoble named Iscol Colvert, traveled to Paris specifically to have her eyes changed from brown to green. She'd dreamed of it her whole life, she said, and was tired of wearing contact lenses. Ferrari himself is 67, soft-spoken, and tall, with, perhaps fittingly, watery greenish-blue eyes.
He trained in ophthalmology in Germany and speaks 4 languages. He no longer performs the surgery himself, though he declined to explain why.
That job falls to his colleague Dr. Jean-François Faure, a 70-year-old ambidextrous surgeon who also happens to have greenish-blue eyes. Ferrari does the consultations and oversees the operating room. As the Times puts it, Ferrari is the eyes, Faure, the hands. The idea came to Ferrari in December 2011, while reading an online discussion among French colleagues about eye coloring techniques.
Keratopigmentation had originally been developed to treat medical conditions, specifically aniridia, where a patient is born without a full iris and becomes extremely light-sensitive.
Ferrari saw an opening to adapt it for cosmetic use, and began experimenting on rabbits to refine the method.
But here's where the story gets complicated. The wider ophthalmology community is deeply skeptical. The procedure is not approved by the FDA. The American Academy of Ophthalmology has issued not one but 2 formal warnings against it, citing risks including corneal scarring, infections, and the potential for serious vision loss, including blindness. Dr. Amita Vedada, a clinical spokesperson for the Academy, points out that there's no long-term data on either the procedure or the pigments being used. The eye, she explains, is immunologically sensitive in ways other parts of the body simply aren't. Even low-grade inflammation can cause permanent scarring and pain. Injecting foreign material into the corneal layers, she says, could alter how the eye functions permanently. Ferrari pushes back on those concerns.
He argues FLAK is no more dangerous than LASIK surgery and carries fewer risks than wearing contact lenses, which are known to cause infections and corneal ulcers. He also positions his procedure as safer than iris implant surgery, a rival color-changing technique where colored silicone is inserted into the eye, now the subject of several lawsuits.
For Ferrari, the deeper issue isn't medical at all. There's real suffering, he said.
Of course, it would be better to accept one's natural eyes, but there are some patients who aren't able to. That tension between patient desire, physician innovation, and institutional caution is exactly what makes this story so compelling, and it's one that isn't going away anytime soon. That's the story of the doctor who's recoloring the windows of the soul, one cornea at a time.